Hi, everyone. We're back. The Bison pregame show before the green and gold game here in the Fargo Dome tailgating lots, just like old times.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it?
It's the end of April. We're doing football with Jeff Kolpack. I'm Dom Izzo. One Fargo Big E. Is he still on sabbatical? Where is he?
I haven't seen him in 3 weeks, but I heard he's on the Florida coast, which is different from like Scotland from last year. But where's the belt?
The belt might be traveling to the Florida Keys or
something.
Doesn't have
to go through customs, right?
Big E will, of course, rejoin us for our regular season coverage. All right, Jeffrey, big day today with the green and gold game. The Bison will celebrate their 2014 national championship, the ring ceremony. This has become old hat. We did our radio show here. Plenty of the former players are here to celebrate today, but this is about 2015. So what are you looking forward to today?
Well, this game is all about, I think, the redshirt freshmen, because we haven't really seen them play yet.
Yep.
Maybe glimpses of practice. And furthermore, I think this game is all about the defense. We know what the offense can bring back. We know the offensive line is going to be really good and really experienced. We know what the running backs can do with the exception of Lance Dunn. Of course, you know what Carson Wentz can do, and I don't think Zach Vrah will play much. R.J. Urzendowski, go down the line.
Yeah.
On defense, though, you have a whole new cast of characters. What are Jalen Ellis and Dakota Reed? How are they going to handle? M.J. Stump, first year as a starter. Pierre G. Tucker, we haven't really seen him yet.
Nope.
I mean, and a defensive line, you have new guys.
Right. Let's talk about those linebackers you just hit on. Pierre G. Tucker is a guy who's played as a true freshman, but beset by injuries. What does he need to do? I don't know if he can make a big statement today. He has all the athleticism in the world, though, to really be a good outside linebacker. I
want to see how tough he is. I want to see if he can maybe take a little shot and come back and be tough and get some tackles in the middle. Remember the guys these guys are replacing? Travis Beck, how tough was he?
Yeah, he didn't miss a game until he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, so. Now that's tough. Carlton Littlejohn, how tough are those guys? I mean, so you don't have to replace their talent. I think you have to replace their toughness.
Defensive end, they've got to replace the Buck Buchanan winner, a guy who's going to get drafted next week in Kyle Emanuel. We've seen a couple guys play on that defensive end. Jared Tuska, who's a kid from small town South Dakota, who's going to get a lot of reps today, one at that defensive end spot, and Brad Ambrosius at the other.
Well, I think we've seen Ambrosius a little bit. We know what he can do. I love Tuska's potential. I think this guy's real athletic.
Yep.
He's growing by leaps and bounds. And like you said, going from 9-man football to 11-man, it's just not two more guys.
Right.
And especially this defense. I'm looking forward to see if he could be a playmaker, too, from the outside.
On the other side, also, Greg Menard is back, as we know, at defensive end, so we know what he can do, obviously, from his time playing last year. You mentioned the secondary and the cornerbacks, and let's get to the safeties as well. We'll start with corners. You mentioned Allison and Reed. That's because C.J. Smith will not participate today, had meniscus surgery on Thursday. Likely he's not going to play into fall camp, so that creates kind of an open spot there at corner for somebody to come up and be the number 3 guy.
Well, I think Jalen Ellison is the guy. He's got the height. He's 6 foot, and he's fast. He's one of the fastest players on the team. He almost got a look at playing as a true freshman. That's how much they thought of him. Dakota Reed, I think, is an up-and-comer. We don't know much about him. He's shorter. He's 5'9", but I think he's thick enough and fast enough and obviously athletic enough to play. We'll see. I don't know. I want to see those guys go against Kayvon Hawkins, against Darius Shepard. Maybe, hopefully, Zach Vrah can go on him a few one-on-ones.
You mentioned Lance Dunn in our radio show. That's the running back, redshirt freshman out of Waterloo, Iowa. That's the one position on offense, one player I guess I want to see outside of wide receiver in today's game to see what he can bring to the table.
Well, and a lot of us want to see what Chase Morlock in this multi-position is. You're not going to see that today because NESU will not show anything. Why would you? It's on statewide TV. Yep. You're not going to show Montana any looks that they're not.
Any glimpse into the future?
Absolutely not. So any semblance of weird formations, different stuff,
ain't happening.
Forget about it. So that's going to leave some power stuff and some outside stuff. And I think Lance Dunn, we've heard about his speed.
No doubt.
We've heard about it. I want to see it.
Kicker is not the flashiest position, but that's a spot that's open and could be seized here today, depending on
I don't think so.
No?
I think that's going to go into the fall. I don't think anybody has really grasped it. I mean, when Ben LeCompte is in the mix now, I didn't know he was a place kicker.
No.
But I've seen him at the end of practice. Strong leg. And he's been there, and the coaches can count on him because he's been through the wars.
Right.
It's a big day, obviously, for Tom Barneson.
Yes.
But they're bringing in a kicker. This battle's going to go into the fall.
Backup quarterback, we're going to see between Cole Davis and Easton Stick. Does anything get decided there today, do you think?
We've seen Cole. No, again, that's going to go into the fall. I think both quarterbacks, from what we understand, have been so even this fall or this spring. That's going to go into the fall. Yeah, if one guy goes 17 of 19, for 3 touchdowns, I might give him a leg up.
No.
But I think these two guys are so even right now. That's going to go into the fall.
I want to look at a couple guys on the defensive line on the interior. We know we had Brian Schatz and Nate Tangway. Those are known commodities for NDSU. The backups, though, Grant Morgan played some reps, not a ton last year. Curious to see how he plays today. And also Aaron Steidel, walk-on from Alexandria. Nick Gazer has been raving about him, that he can get some massive minutes and big-time reps today. He's got the frame to be really good.
Bison love that walk-on program, don't they? They had Joe Haig from down the road in Brainerd, and look what he developed.
Yep.
Is Aaron Steidel going to develop like that? Well, Brian Schatz was a walk-on.
Yes.
I don't think you're going to see Schatz and Tangway play today.
No.
Because they've been a little banged up and hurt, so you're not going to see them play. So that's going to give Steidel a lot of opportunities.
Should be a great day inside the Dome. Game starts at 1:30. We'll, of course, be live tweeting everything. We'll have complete highlights and reaction on WDAY, and then back post-game to wrap things up. The Green and Gold game for 2015 set to kick off in just a little while inside the Dome.